All right. Hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another movie review. Yes, it's been a little while since I've done one of these types of videos, one of these like regular videos for the channel. I do apologize. Stop me if you've heard this one before, but stuff happening in personal life. I'll admit, without going into too much detail, my mental health hasn't been the greatest. But I know that I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing, especially because we are technically still an awful month, although that's about to come to a close. But because I missed so much of it, and because I feel I haven't suffered enough, I've made an executive decision that we're extending awful month by one more week. Throughout this week, will be the last of the awful month reviews, and there is a lot we're going to get through. A lot we still have to get through, unfortunately. If I was up to it a little better, then we wouldn't have so much, but it'll make the suffering even better. So yay! But we're gonna try to get through these as quickly and as much as we can. So throughout the week, expect a lot of awful month related reviews and everything. Now, granted, not everything is going to be awful month related. There's a couple of things. In fact, there's one or two things we're doing tomorrow. That's going to be non awful month related, and I will be posting as I kind of alluded to just a moment ago. I am going to be posting every day this week so that we can get these reviews out. I know I'm kind of rushing these out. I didn't necessarily want to do that, but unfortunately, due to my poor planning and some of my struggles, again, I'll be fine. Um, Unfortunately, I'm left with no other alternative. It was either that or I try to binge them because the month of June ends tomorrow, actually. So it was either that or binge through all of these within the span of 2 days. But that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot on the plate. So I've opted not to do that, of course. But the other thing is, if you see me sweating, if you see me taking a lot of swigs of water, it is it's warm. It's officially summer here in Buffalo. Oh, and this like whole week it's gonna be a scorcher. Yeah, stay tuned for that. I got my fan going. Now, I do have to apologize to my microphone because or my fan and my microphone because I unfairly blamed it for my uh kind of garbled voice when I reviewed the Royal Rumble 1995, which if you haven't already, check that out. And we got the rest of 1995 to go in terms of pay-per-views and everything for WWF. But no, turns out for whatever reason it switched over to the mic that comes in my laptop instead of my professional ish uh, ish, mic here, my Yeti orb that I have. But yeah, because of that, I switched over and I still have my fan going. Hopefully, it shouldn't pick up. If it does, I do apologize. But I tested earlier; it sounded fine. But hopefully, you guys are still able to hear me, make out what I'm saying. Hopefully, it doesn't interfere with it too much. But yeah, now that that whole spiel is out of the way, uh, hey, the accurate answer as to why I've kind of been gone and taking that little hiatus, which I gotta stop doing. Like, obviously, of course, take care of your mental health. Prioritize your mental health. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well. But yeah, take care of your mental health. Always take care of your mental health because if you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. That's something I've definitely learned in this lifetime of mine. And I get it. You want to be there for everyone. There's a lot you got to do. There's a lot that you want to accomplish. I get it. I've been there. Like I've had to function at half capacity because of that in life. But definitely always take care of your mental health because that is super important, and because I care about you guys, and you should hopefully care about yourselves as well. It's not selfish. You're not being a selfish person, and you're or maintaining yourself. Oh, there's I think too many people confuse the two, and they think taking care of yourself is selfish. That's not the case. Is you have to take care of yourself because you can't give from an empty cup. But I'm not here to talk about mental health, although it is important. Yeah. So the real answer as to why I've kind of been away, I kind of just mentioned. But the comical slash funny answer is I can just blame it on this movie. It's time to review Cats from 2019. Oh boy, hey, there is a lot to unpack when it comes to this. So, of course, as always, I am not professional movie reviewer, movie analyst, movie critic, or anything. Just a man who enjoys a good time. But you know what? I don't need to be a professional to tell you that this movie is not it. It famous is or I guess infamous abomination to the eyes, and it turns out the rest of the senses. But is it truly as bad as everyone says it is? Well, would it be an awful month if it wasn't? Let's talk about it. Now, of course, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works, or at least you have an idea of how this works. If you haven't, however, I'm going to be talking about what I liked, if anything, from this movie, and admittedly, there's not a lot. And the stuff I disliked, which is a lot more plentiful, as well as give kind of a plot summary. And admittedly, I do kind of scroll through the wiki here just to make sure I'm on track and make sure that my thoughts are organized and everything. They put the plot in a concise way, but obviously I've still seen the source material. It's just kind of for reference, just in case there's any points I miss. But truth be told, it's especially going to help here because otherwise I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in this movie. Like, it definitely started to blur after quite a bit. And you're gonna find out why. So let's just get into it. So we see Victoria, who is a young white cat. We see her introduced. She's thrown on in the bag in the burlap sack. Like, now, I've seen that done a bunch of times, like cartoons, especially the old like Tom and Jerry cartoons. There was the one where like the bag of kittens was thrown into like the sewage drain, and like Tom pulls them out and he takes care of the kittens. Is that something that actual people do? I imagine so. Sadly, a lot of people abandon their pets slash animals all the time. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's really sad. But did they used to? Do they still do? Put them in like sacks and just drop them? Like, that's really messed up. But considering all the other types of animal abuse out there in the world, I guess I wouldn't put it past them. But so Victoria's abandoned and she's in the streets of London. She runs into a group of alley cats as who refer to themselves as the Jellicles. Was I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then she meets Mr. Mistopheles, Monkistrap, Cassandra, Demeter, her, and they kind of take Victoria under their wing. They kind of bring her into the group, and they get ready for the Jellicle Ball. It's a ball that will determine, and cats have to compete, and it's almost like a pageant. From what I'm gathering from the movie, the little bit I was able to catch, it's kind of a pageant to see which cat will be chosen to go to the Heavenside layer and be granted a new life. Cool. They're pretty much gonna figure out which cat dies. How nice. We're off to a fantastic start. But let's we see the competitors do little songs about themselves. They kind of do it one by one by one. We have Henny Any Dots. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Rum Tum Tugger. I don't want to pronounce that too much in case I accidentally say something I'm not supposed to. As long as I'll say it with an N, we're good. But Rum Tum Tugger, Busterford Jones, Skimble Shanks, and Gus. Because why does everybody else get these creative names and then it's just Guts. I said Guts. Gus. Jenny Annie Dots is a domestic tabby uh, who sleeps during the day, and at night, boosts the activity. Mice and roaches, pretty much like hunts them, if I'm not mistaken. Rum Tum Tugger, he's a extravagant but indecisive cat who is pretty much there to rile up the others, and really get on their skin and everything. Bustford Jones, who is a bourgeoisie cat who boasts about his weight and uh, and gets food scraps from the garbage. A, take a wild guess who plays that character, and B, they make a lot of fat jokes in his song. Now, I will give the movie credit for this one joke. Oh, like there's a moment where he's about to be launched to the air, or like as part of the musical sequence, and he's too heavy to launch up, and he kind of chastises them for it. And I don't know if that was James Corden, that's who plays him. I don't know if that was James Corden breaking character or if it was part of the script. If it was part of the script, that was actually kind of funny. If it was James Corden breaking character, considering some of the other stuff James Corden has gotten into, that about tracks. Uh, but I will admit, either way, I can't lie. I'm a fair man. I'm a fair reviewer. I got to give them props. That joke was kind of funny. You get 1 point, and Cats, you get 1 point. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, even a broken clock is right. Twice a day at least. And then there's Skimbleshanks, who's a tidy ginger cat who tap dances and supervises the operation of the train, not the Polar Express train. It's a different type of train. And then there's Gus, who's an aged theatrical cat who has played some of the biggest roles in history. So, introduced to all these characters, and they do them one by one, back to back and everything. And then Victoria meets the mischievous twins, Mungo Jury and Rumple Teaser. I hope I got that right. Who they pretty much cause mischief. They're like thing one and thing two. Who they're just causing all kinds of mischief, doing all kinds of chaos. They try to recruit Victoria. Victoria's not having it though. Oh, but she gets tangled up in necklaces, and is when the family dog comes in and is alerted to them. And thankfully the dog, thankfully the dog's just like a regular dog, or at least CGI animated dog, and not like humanoid CGI. Oh, we'll get to that. But but hey, yeah. So they split. They leave Victoria alone. Leave her all alone to face the wrath of the dog. Mr. Mistopheles rescues Victoria. They escape. Hey, they find old Deuteronomy, who is the he kind of like the it's kind of like the matriarch. She's like the mother figure of the cat. That's so they meet her and the Jellicle Ball commences inside the abandoned Egyptian theater, and Victoria dances. She dances a ballet solo in the moonlight, but Cassandra harassing Grisabella, who is a former glamour cat who is banished from the tribe for, among other things, I'm reading here. You can tell I'm kind of reading here. She's banished from the tribe for, among other things, her past allegiance with McCavity, who is a notorious criminal and con artist capable of teleportation. So pretty much Shang Tsung. But but Victoria kind of relates to Grisabella's feelings of abandonment because of that. And Grisabella leaves. Old Deuteronomy witnesses and assures Victoria that she can become a Jellicle herself in time. So, now Old Deuteronomy is kind of hyping Victoria up, and and then eventually a femme fatale. That's how it's listed here. Her her name, Bombalurina, interrupts the ball. She distracts the Jellicles and she praises McCavity, and she incapacitates them with catnip. And McCavity arrives, and he's pretty much trying to steal the competition for himself. Of he wants to be the Jellicle choice, but old Deuteronomy huts him down. She calls him unworthy. And she eventually is kidnapped along with the other contestants. Uh, Okay. Hey, sorry, I got that wrong. So old Deuteronomy is kidnapped at and she's placed with the other contestants that he's kidnapped prior. So the wait, yeah, he did kidnap some of the other ones because I remember or I remember Buster Jones being there, but but she's kidnapped. Pretty much the point is she's kidnapped. At, have Victoria tries to get Mr. Mistopheles to conjure old Deuteronomy back. Heck, and he tries to make her reappear. Or at first he's kind of down on himself, but they sing a number to try to lift his spirits. There's a lot of singing. It is a musical. This is based off the Cats musical, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But he uh he does get old Deuteronomy to reappear, which is nice. And eventually Mr. Mistopheles and Victoria dance together. And meanwhile, McCavity, Bomber, Lorena, they teleport away from the victims, and they are able to free themselves with Jenny Annie Dots' costume changes. McCavity leaves his lackey, aka Growl Tiger, to walk the plank defenses against the cats who have freed themselves. Eventually, Grisabella returns to the Egyptian theater. Victoria vouches for her, and he sings about her feelings and everything. She sings about what's in her heart, and because of that, old Deuteronomy names Grisabella the Jellicle choice and sends her off to the Heavenside layer in a chandelier. So, aka, she kills her. And then McCavity he um tries to reach the Heavenside. Oh, it's the Heaviside layer. I think I've been calling it the Heavenside layer. Or my apologies, but you know what? I'm still gonna call it that. I don't care. No, I should show it some respect. So McCavity still tries to reach the Heaviside later, even though he's lost. He leaps onto a rope on the chandelier, aka he swings from the chandelier here, or shouts like the three who will get that. But he falls onto Nelson's column. And the Jellicles, who are reunited with the people that were previously kidnapped, they perch on a lion statue, and they watch Grisabella ascend to the Heaviside layer, aka ascend up to the afterlife. and afterwards, old Deuteronomy welcomes Victoria to the tribe. They sing off. They have the audacity to break the fourth wall and tell us that the movie is over and everything. How nice! And that is how it ends. So right off the bat, of course, with the awful month stuff that we're doing, and, and we gotta go to the dislikes. The dislike, I Hey, let's just get the big one out of the way. The elephant, or I should say the elephant cat in the room, whom I'm sure the thing that a lot of you are waiting for me to talk about the visuals, how the characters look and everything, are absolutely atrocious. These characters look ugly. A face not even a mother cat could love. Like these are very ugly some very ugly character designs. And it's almost to the point where between like the James Corden joke and and uh who was it? It was the one played by Jenny Anydots, who was played by Rebel Wilson, scratching her nether regions, if you will. It's almost like the characters are ugly. They're like really ugly to look at. It's almost like the movie's aware of that too, because we see them almost all the time and stuff like that. At like that scene, and then the James Corden one, like it almost feels self-aware as to like it knows how ugly it is, but it's going to continue to subject you to it anyway. A and it's like that kid. It I'm sure you had that kid in school who just did a lot of stuff gross. Those maybe they would pick their nose, maybe they would fart all the time, just all kinds of gross stuff, and they grossed everybody out. But they embraced it and they used it to terrorize other people. It feels like that. It feels like this movie is kind of doing that. And granted, and I know I'm not exactly a looker but it is really bad looking. Now, Cats is based off a musical. Well, it is based off a musical. I believe the original Cats came out in 1981. Uh, based on 1981 West End musical Cats, which in turn is based off the 1939 poetry collection Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot. And the play is by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Excuse me. But it's based off of stage play. And the thing about stage play is there's people who do makeup. Now, I've never worked on a stage play. Sadly, wasn't a theater kid growing up. I thought about it, but I sadly wasn't a theater kid growing up. But I do know a lot of the makeup and stuff. A lot of that takes time, and especially you get it to be good looking. But this movie decides to go for CGI. I have no idea why. Hey, if anything, it makes the characters look worse. First, like, would the characters look better with more practical makeup and everything? Who knows for sure? Considering a Cats has been a musical for quite some time now. Oh, from 2019 to 1981. So I'm just going by based on the timeline from the movies, from the play to the movie. So what? And so about 38 years, just considering it's been a play for about 38 years. I imagine it's gotta be doing something right, uh, the CGI looks absolutely horrid. Like these characters are repulsive to look at like downright repulsive to look at. Like I didn't want to stare at the screen too much lest my eyes accidentally burn out of my skull. Oh, but now that I've thoroughly roasted the the movie itself feels pretty boring and it feels like it drags on for so long. This movie is only about an hour 45, I believe. 110 minutes. And it's hour 50. Okay, so it's about an hour 50, so just shy of 2 hours. So it's only about hour 50, but so 110 minutes, but it feels like 110 years. Like it feels like this movie drags and drags and drags. And maybe it's because I'm not big into musicals, but I've seen musicals before. I just watched Wicked a few months ago. It was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed myself. But this movie, he was like Wicked. This wasn't. It was maybe Wicked in a different way, but Wicked. This movie wasn't. And I'm sure the Cowardly Lion is probably ashamed to be even the same adjacent species as this movie. But yeah, the movie felt pretty boring. It felt pretty dull. Like I said, I like mentally checked out. Kind of close to the beginning. I think it was a combination of the visuals and it felt like in this movie, it felt like nothing was really happening. And now I wonder if the stage play rectifies that. I guess this movie is a good job advertising the stage play because now I gotta check out the stage play to see if it's as dull as the movie. But it felt like the movie just wouldn't end. And maybe some of it is psychosomatic because I know it's a bad movie. It's regarded as a bad movie, but yeah, the movie just felt dull and bland and boring. Unfortunately, dull, bland, and boring, and awful visuals is a recipe for disaster. Unfortunately, if I had to find some redeeming qualities, a couple of the songs were kind of okay. Nothing really memorable to me, but a couple of songs were okay. And there's some decent talent in here. You do have Jennifer Hudson in this movie. He, yeah, like her, you have Ian McKellen and as Jennifer Hudson played Grisabella. Ian McKellen played Gus the theater cat. Uh, so there's a few people that I like in here. Granted, this movie also has people like James Corden, but there's some decent talent. It's almost disappointing. If you ever seen a movie that's bad but has like some good actors, you're like, oh no, why'd you sign on to this movie? I'm sure you know my feeling. Some examples I can think of off the top of my head. Uh, Surprisingly, I can't think of. Uh, I guess most later era Sean Connery movies. But that's about it. But yeah, there's some decent talent, but it does not make for a decent movie. And you know what? I've been watching in my real life, in my personal life. I promise this isn't why I haven't been making videos. I promise. But in my real life, I've been watching a lot more cat videos as of late. Hey, I don't know why. I just find cats cute. And the stigma is that cats are kind of mean to us, kind of seem like they hate us sometimes. They're not very affectionate towards us, even though that's a very much a misconception based on some of the videos I've seen. But it's been said that cats see us as their servants and everything, and it feels like they're kind of mean to us and everything. And you know what? For a while, I didn't know where that came from. I didn't know why that's the case. But then I saw this movie, and now I realize why. Because we're giving cats a bad name. So you know what? On behalf of the human race, we are sorry, cats. We will endeavor to do better. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every single time I upload a video so you never miss an upload. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on this movie and my review of the movie. Do you like the movie? Do you like my review of the movie? Review of the movie. Excuse me. Let me know. Let me know. Am I being too harsh on the movie? Am I not being harsh enough on the movie? Do who honestly, earnestly let me know. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Meow. That means peace.